Of course, fasting in Ramadan is an important and significant tradition for Muslims all over the world. And China's western region of Xinjiang is home to the Uyghur ethnic minority, most of whom are Muslim. The Chinese authorities there have now banned Muslim employees from fasting during Ramadan. The move comes amid a security crackdown in the region, which has been hit by a growing number of violent attacks. For more on this story, we can speak to Alim Saitov of the World Uyghur Conference. Mr. Saitov, thanks very much for joining us. Why has China taken this move?
It's not surprising. Basically, the Chinese government is an undemocratic, authoritarian, and also an atheist state. It wants to secularize the Uyghur people and wants to essentially assimilate the Uyghur people into the Chinese secular culture. So that's why the Chinese government has banned fasting in the holy month of Ramadan, which is the duty of all Muslims, including the Uyghur people. So today, Uyghurs who work for Chinese government control or operate their own entities, whether they are schools, hospitals, or government. They simply cannot fast. If they fast, they will be fined, severely penalized, and in the worst case scenario, they will be even arrested. And plus, Chinese government has just launched a one-year strikeout campaign specifically targeting Uyghur people's religious beliefs and practices. So the situation on the ground is very bad now in this holy month of Ramadan for the peaceful Uyghur people.
In the past, Mr. Saitov, it's been quite indirect, the pressure on the Uyghur community in terms of fasting, but this is quite drastic now, isn't it? It's very direct.
Yes, because the Chinese government sees the religious belief of the Uyghur people, Islam, as a threat to its continued hold on to the territory of East Turkestan, which is historically non-Chinese territory, just like Tibet. And China sees the Uyghur people's strong belief in religion is a big problem to keep the Uyghur people separate, unique identity, culture, and language. That is a big obstacle in China's attempt to forcibly assimilate the Uyghur people. So from the Chinese government's mindset is
Cina larang pembacaan Al-Quran di sekolah-sekolah. Demikian adalah video dari seorang anak perempuan yang berasal dari negara Cina membacakan ayat-ayat Al-Quran disaksikan oleh teman-temannya. Video berdurasi 39 detik tersebut belakangan sempat viral di media sosial. Menggugah hati memang melihat anak tersebut membacakan ayat-ayat Al-Quran dengan pelafalan khas anak kecil. Namun, belakangan video tersebut dikabarkan menjadi sebab dari kabar yang kurang menyenangkan bagi umat muslim di Cina. Anak dalam video tersebut disinyalir berasal dari provinsi Jiangsu, yang merupakan provinsi di Cina dengan jumlah muslim mencapai 1,6 juta jiwa, sehingga menempatkan Gansu sebagai provinsi dengan populasi muslim tertinggi ketiga setelah Xinjiang dan Ningxia. Karena tersebarnya video tersebut, pihak berwenang di Provinsi Jiangsu di Cina memerintahkan kepada sekolah-sekolah agar melarang dengan tegas kegiatan keagamaan di dalam ruang kelas. Pemerintah Provinsi Jiangsu berdalih, kegiatan keagamaan bisa merugikan kesehatan mental anak-anak muda. Kegiatan keagamaan juga dikhawatirkan digunakan untuk mempromosikan budaya dari luar negara tirai bambu tersebut. Meski dikabarkan video tersebut diambil di prefektur Ningxia, di mana mayoritas penduduknya adalah muslim, pemerintahan di Provinsi Jiangsu menegaskan kembali kebijakan resmi yang melarang kegiatan keagamaan sekolah di berbagai tingkat tersebut. Peraturan itu memperparah pengendalian yang ketat terhadap praktek keagamaan di Cina.
Di Kabupaten Liping, Provinsi Guizhou, banjir terparah terjadi di desa dan kota Jiuzhou. Sejumlah bangunan dan rumah warga hancur. Pemerintah daerah setempat menerjunkan petugas penyelamat.
Tornado and hailstorm took place around 2:30 in the afternoon. Tornadoes are very rare weather conditions in China, so the extreme weather conditions have caught many people off guard. As we know, so far, 78 people have been confirmed killed in a rare tornado disaster this afternoon, and many more were injured.
Sejenak kita ke mancanegara pemirsa, warga tepian sungai Siayang, Tiongkok yang menjadi korban bencana Gempa sudah terlihat mulai memperbaiki rumah sendiri dengan bantuan dari saudara dan sahabat.
Warga bantaran sungai ini tak mau berlama-lama berduka. Mereka berupaya bangkit sendiri dari bencana yang telah merenggut nyawa 99 orang tersebut. Warga juga mendapatkan bantuan dari tim ahli untuk membangun kembali rumah mereka. Bantaran sungai Siayang adalah salah satu wilayah yang tidak diterjang tornado, namun wilayah ini tetap merasakan dampak yang merusak dari terjangan topan. Topan itu disertai guyuran hujan sangat deras dan hujan es. Hingga kemarin jumlah korban luka akibat bencana topan dan tornado tersebut mencapai 800 orang.
At least 30 people were killed after a tour bus burst into flames in central China's Hunan province on Sunday. The bus, carrying 56 people, crashed into the guardrails on a highway and caught fire. Local officials say an oil leak may have led to the tragedy. 21 people have been wounded and sent to hospitals. Rescuers are still combing through the wreckage for the missing. The driver has been detained.
earthquake engineers to inspect Sichuan's quake zone. From Turkey to Armenia, they've been the first to assess quake damage. Yet even these hardened veterans of global disaster were shocked.
This is incredible.
Kit Miyamoto's team collects data for the San Francisco-based Earthquake Engineering Research Institute.
Cina larang pembacaan Al-Quran di sekolah-sekolah. Demikian adalah video dari seorang anak perempuan yang berasal dari negara Cina membacakan ayat-ayat Al-Quran disaksikan oleh teman-temannya.